Hey everyone, I'm Clay. This is my wife Bethany, and as you know, our church has been in the middle of the 21 days of prayer and fasting that we do every January, and we just wanted to come and share a fasting testimony that God did in our family and our life a couple years ago now.
Yeah, so actually it was about almost 7 years ago. We had our first boy, our baby boy Jude, who we love so much, and he's been such a gift to our family. Right around the time that he was probably about two and a half, we started thinking about another baby. And we love Jude so much, and we really wanted to give him a sibling. We wanted to continue to grow our family. And so we started trying for baby number two. And we spent about at least a year leading
Yeah,
up to that
yeah,
first fast. We spent about a year trying to have a baby, and we were unsuccessful
right,
up to
yeah,
that point.
yeah, yeah. And so, like, ultimately, a few years went by with no success. And just like anyone who might be watching this, a lot of prayers went into it.
Many prayers.
Eventually, you month to month is passing by, and you're getting frustrated, and you really don't know what to do sometimes. But just pray. And I think like it's important for us to like also share that we had one son, and so at the you're praying to God and you want to increase, grow your family, but at the same time you're telling yourself like, maybe I should just be grateful for
Hmm.
what we have, because
Yeah.
we know friends and a lot of people who might even be watching this right now,
Hmm.
and who are still praying for just one.
Hmm.
And so we certainly didn't want to be ungrateful, but it was a desire that we had,
Yeah.
and we were just praying and believing that God would do this. And
Yeah. We kept praying, like, Lord, we just feel like you have another baby for us. We feel like our family's not done yet,
yeah,
but we weren't seeing that come to fruition yet. And I think, up until the time that we eventually got our breakthrough, it was about 2 years of trying.
yeah, maybe, I
And
don't know, it might have been longer
it
than
could have
that
been,
though.
it was at least 2 years of
Yeah,
trying,
at least.
and several doctor visits. And we never actually went the route of like fertility treatments. We thought about it, we
Yeah.
talked about it. I can't really explain that other than to say that I felt like God just was kind of putting the brakes on that. I considered going that route, and many people do and have success that way. But for whatever reason, I just felt like the Lord was just saying, just wait,
Yeah.
just wait on me, wait on my time.
Yeah. And eventually we got to the fasting season, 21 days, in 2019. And so we'd already seen a couple fasting seasons like come and go, right?
Yeah.
Again, with no success.
Yeah.
And now here we are in 2019, and we were praying, believing for the same thing. And it was so crazy and unique, because I don't know if you were with our church in 2019, remember those services in the early part of the year, but like Pastor Stovall,
Yeah.
Pastor Carey, there were like many services all within like a 2 month span, Wednesday nights, Sunday mornings, where there were like an unusual amount of like altar calls
Yeah.
in regards to couples who are trying to conceive.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't ever remember our church, like, I mean, that it certainly comes up from time to time to pray for that, but it was like
Yeah.
coming up every other
Like
service.
back to back to back. Like,
Like,
here's another one.
and I remember,
Go
so
for
like
it.
we would go down to all of them. Like
Yeah.
we would go down to all of the altar calls together as a couple. I literally remember like a Wednesday night service where another altar call was made and Beth was not at church. And so I went up by myself. It was like me standing in a sea of a bunch of ladies, and like here I am, and I'm just like a guy by myself in the middle of this group. But I knew we were praying for it together.
Yeah.
Some close friends in our life also knew that we were praying for this.
Mhm.
And that was just yet another moment of us fasting together, praying in our family, going down to these altar calls. God, please do this.
Yeah,
in
and
our
right
life.
right around that time, it was during the day, no one else was home, and I clearly felt like God was telling me that I needed to pray for someone else who was struggling to have a baby. That every time I felt sad or felt like, God, are you going to come through for me? Or God, like, are you listening to my prayers? Like, God, I really have this desire to give my son a sibling, and to grow our family. Every time I felt that way, I felt like I was supposed to pray for someone else. There was someone on our staff who was trying to have a baby. She had been trying for years and had not been successful. And I clearly felt like every time you feel down, I want you to pray for that person instead of thinking about yourself. And it wasn't any kind of like deal with God. It wasn't like God said, do this and then I will fill in the blank. I'll do this for you. It wasn't anything like that. I just felt like God was saying, here's a step. Here's something I want you to do. I want you to think about somebody else. And so from that day, from that moment, I started praying for that other person. And about 3 months later, she got pregnant.
Yeah.
And so we were so overjoyed and I was so happy for her. And it wasn't too much longer that our term came out.
So, and I'll never forget it. Like, so we went fasting season 2019 in January, and I'll never forget it. I woke up on a Saturday in May. I'm like dead asleep in the bed. Bethany jumps into the bed screaming like my name, Clay, 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 Clay. I wake up like I think there's a robber in the house. I got adrenaline pumping through my body. I am ready to fight anyone, right? And I look over at her and she holds up the pregnancy test that says positive. And I like had to collect myself because I'm like coming out of a deep sleep. But I just remember like it was just the most like amazing, celebratory, joyous moment on that Saturday. And then 9 months later, we welcomed in our second boy, Croy Oliver James Baird. And so we were just super grateful. And so all of this to say, like, we know people are praying for many different things, and we're concluding our fasting today. And I don't know what you've been praying and believing God for, but hopefully just let this serve as an encouragement to you that after years of us praying for the same thing and multiple fasting seasons coming and going, man, like in that year of 2019, it was just a year where God was just like, let me just show you again that I'm good and I'm faithful and I'm for you. And the things that bring you a lot of concern and care and even worry at times, those things matter to God. And he proved to our family yet again that he's a good God, and he's certainly been good to us. And we're praying because now, you know, I feel like we have a delight in praying for other couples who are in the same boat. And so anyways, we just want to encourage you guys as you're closing up your fast. God's good. He's faithful. Listen to me. This is going to be the year that you fasted in January, and God is going to answer some prayers before the year ends. And what a good God he is. And I think the maturity in all of it is when you can say, you know what, like we'll put the timing in the Lord's hands. But in the meantime, while we're still waiting on the answer, blessed be the name of the Lord.
Amen.
And I think there's a lot of maturity in that. And so we love you, church. And we're praying for all of you. And it seems like Bethany has a magical prayer touch right now. And so if you're a lady and you want to have a baby, I don't know, maybe talk to Beth.
That's a lot of pressure.
But anyways, no. Hey, God's going to do it. And this has been an awesome year of prayer and fasting. We love you guys, and God bless you.